Yo, what's going on? It is 1 p.m. here in Crystal Lake, Illinois. That means it's time for another live stream. Today is Monday, January 22nd. Today's not Monday. Today's Thursday, January 22nd, 2026. I saw someone saying, cue the Monday Night Football theme, and then I got Monday in my head. That was from Fred. But yeah, today is Thursday. It is a cold day here in Crystal Lake, although today's not that cold. It's a little windy. I think it's seasonably cold today. High is going to be like 16 degrees, which is maybe right now. But tomorrow is going to be a frigid day. It's an ice out day. So it's going to be very cold. They're talking about canceling school tomorrow. So that will be difficult for me because then I'll have two kids at home that will demand to be entertained. I mean, realistically, they'll be very happy just watching their iPads and watching TV all day, but I will feel guilty about it if I don't do anything. So I'm hoping that it doesn't get too bad because also Ted Cruz has fled the state again. So I'm worried about my friends down in Texas. Hopefully the grid holds up for you guys. According to the grid operators, they've done a lot of work since the last time the grid collapsed. So hopefully you guys are going to be okay and won't have to stock up on water or melt snow in your bathtubs, like a friend of mine had to do down in Austin. So hope everyone stays safe. All right, today we're going to play a game. We're going to play a game called Name That Shoe. I've taken the copy from a shoe, like the text that describes a shoe on the website. I've stripped out all of the trade names, like FF Blast Plus or Nitro. And I will read it to you. I'll show it to you as well, because it's a lot of words to kind of keep in mind at once. And then you'll have to guess what the shoe is. And as a way of narrowing it down from all the potential running shoes that are out there, these are shoes that I've reviewed in like the last half year, I think. So that should be hopefully pretty fun. But before we get to that, let's say hi to everyone listening on the audio only version on the podcast. If you are listening to this on the run, man, and it's cold out there, I appreciate you. Hopefully you're staying warm. For me, I've been able to stay pretty warm lately. Although, like, when it has gotten really cold, I've just ducked inside. The justification being, we talked about it last time, I've got the desert race coming up, Black Canyon, and I feel like the temps are going to be similar, if not a little bit hotter, than if I run indoors at room temperature. So I feel like running on the treadmill has been useful from a race specificity perspective. But if you're out here listening in the cold, stay warm. And everyone else watching this later but not live, welcome to the #1 drive time radio show for runners that is neither at drive time nor on the radio, but you are in the right place. Hopefully what's happening is you are watching this inside with a nice warm cup of coffee, and maybe your partner is outside shoveling snow if you're getting a bunch of snow. Not that I want you to not help out, but I'm sure you've already helped out in other ways. So hopefully you're nice and toasty. I had to actually shovel the driveway today. I mean, I have a little electric snow blower. I've been putting it off. I've been a bad neighbor. I have not shoveled my sidewalk, but it's been like, we've had like an inch and a half of snow. So it's been like, it doesn't matter. Will it just blow away? I've been treating it like leaves. Maybe it'll blow away if I just leave it out there long enough. But today I was like, I can't, because we got another dusting of snow last night. So I had to get out there with the snowblower. Let's see who we got here in the chat. Stevie76 is here. Stevie, you are the most valuable man on running internet right now, I feel like. Between all the footage that you captured at Houston, everyone is using footage from Stevie in their content. And I can always tell, even if they strip the audio out, what are the Stevie clips because of where the clips are coming from and like just the way that the shot is composed. I can always tell it's a Stevie clip. And here's the funny thing. Here's what a small world it is. So I'd interviewed Zuhair Talbi about it, and he was telling me how like some guy, I don't know how he knew, was telling me while I was running that my wife was doing well during the race. And it turns out that person was Stevie. And so, I feel like I need to message Zuhair and be like, dude, that guy that told you how Elizabeth was doing, that's a friend of mine, Stevie76. Such a small world. But that was so fun. So fun to see. So Stevie provided footage to Zuhair Talbi and Elizabeth Talbi, to Midlife Runner, to me last year, and to Ali Ostrander. Are there more, Stevie? Are there more? Like every day, it seems like there's a new video that comes out where I could hear Stevie giggling in the background, and it makes my day every time I hear it. Mark says, "Hey everyone, I missed Monday with 2 kids from home from daycare for MLK Day. The toddler preferred Pete the Cat to Kafuzi. Go figure. Good to be back." Pete the Cat is good. You know, my kids never really got into Pete the Cat, but I really liked Pete the Cat. My niece and nephew, my sister's kids, they really liked Pete the Cat, but my kids never got into it. Fortunately, like Bluey came around relatively soon after Pete the Cat. I mean, not soon, but like when I would have needed Pete the Cat for my younger daughter, Bluey started becoming popular, so that worked out well for me. But Mark, you do not know. I mean, I guess I had it good too, because by the time I had my first kid, like cartoons on demand was a thing. So that was really, really nice, especially when we traveled and we're trying to like, it's been a long travel day. We just need to like get the kids settled for a second. Not that like giving a toddler like television at 11 o'clock at night is a great idea, but it was just like, look, we just got to this room and she's wired. Having like on-demand cartoons has been great, but some of those on-demand cartoons were limited to like Caillou. I mean, I feel like it's a parenting generational gap if you have to watch a lot of Caillou. Solid Canadian cartoon, but very different in caliber than what we have now. Alan Sutherland 6663 says, "Yo, what's going on? I might finally get to catch more of these lives since I managed to get my lunchtime on Thursday scheduled at 1 this semester." All right, Alan. Well, we'll have to make use of it. We will have to play some games. Today we're going to play a game. Should we get started on it? I don't have any packages to unbox for you guys today, so I feel like maybe we should just hop into it. Let's get through some more of the chat, and then we'll get to the game. Adam said that the Sun Marathon in Texas was canceled. Looking for alternates in February, preferably flat. The all sand one in Texas and the indoor 200-meter track in Virginia are out. Ugh. Alternatives in February. When's the Miami Marathon? That's pretty flat. Is the Sun Marathon canceled because of the storm that's coming? Oh boy. Yeah. Vanessa says winter storm is even hitting us here in central Texas. Let's see. And Senior Grandmaster Dan says that the cold blast is coming to Colorado the next 3 days. Martha says that seems like severe winter storms are hitting the entire eastern half of the country. Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to get it pretty good this weekend, which is a bummer. I was really hoping, because yesterday was nice weather. I actually saw one other person going for a walk yesterday. I'll still see people walking their dogs, but they're kind of grumpy about it, and they usually have big, energetic dogs. Yesterday I saw a woman on one of my normal routes, just walking by herself, and she was like, "Isn't this great weather?" And I was like, "Yep." I had underdressed a little bit, so I was actually a little cold, but it was nice yesterday. And I was hoping that for the weekend, because I'd like to get in another long trail run. But I think tomorrow the high is like -5 degrees Fahrenheit here in Chicago. So tomorrow's going to be a treadmill day. But Saturday is not going to be significantly better. And I'm trying to get 3 hours out on the trail. So maybe I'll move that to Sunday. I don't know. Yeah, Mark Johnson says, with all the snow and cold in the Northeast, I have a feeling I'll be doing the treadmill dance for a while. Yeah, and Calvin says, my treadmill and I have become inseparable, I'm afraid. Yeah. JC says it's going to be a treadmill week. I think for everybody. I think pretty much, except for a handful of people. And Mark says it's 4 degrees in Minnesota right now. Going to drop to -20 overnight. That's so cold. My wife and I both really like Minneapolis a lot. And so, like, we're always like, I don't know, maybe should we just go up there? And then I'm reminded of the winter lasts until late April. The middle of the winter is just brutal. It's like a whole nother. I mean, I feel like it's cold in Crystal Lake. It's colder than Chicago, even though it's not that far. But I think it's far enough away from the warmth of both the lake and the city that it's noticeably colder. But I think Minneapolis is a whole nother level of cold. Mike Lugan says that Roger Bannister passed away. I didn't know that. Oh man. That's a sad day for us runners. Super Injit says, my daughter likes Bluey and Pete the Cat. I really enjoyed Pete the Cat. But yeah. I love Bluey. Johnny Darden says that Bluey has been colored specifically to engage with real dogs. I don't know if my dog has ever watched Bluey before. But today I was watching the news to get the weather report. And they had cut to one of those, send a reporter around town. And there's apparently some sort of puppet festival this weekend. And there was a dude, kind of like in the Lion King musical, people wear the giant costumes. There was a dude wearing a rhinoceros costume, and the reporter was was way too excited about it. But then another puppeteer came out with a baby deer thing. It was about the size of a baby deer, but you could see the puppeteer operating it and stuff. And the way that the puppeteer had the deer move, my dog was alert. The puppeteer had my dog's attention. And then the other day, my wife was telling me that the other day, we watch a lot of nature documentaries in the house. I particularly like ones in the ocean or ones that are very cold. And there was one with penguins on, and the dog stood up on her hind legs to get a better look. And she was up at the TV. Almost, sometimes she puts a nose on the TV, which annoys me. But she had nose of the TV trying to get to the penguins. Rich Wilson says, I have a friend whose shepherd loves Bluey. That's so funny. Oh, Frank said Bannister died in 2018. I didn't know that. I thought he just passed now. Why are we talking about this now? I mean, got me all sad for nothing. I mean, I'm still sad. I thought he was still around somewhere, practicing medicine. I don't know. All right. Getting to run as not a shoe question, but a Chicago question. What do you think is the best time to visit Chicago? My wife didn't get to go when I went for the marathon, and we want to go back. Go September to October, right when Chicago Marathon is the best time of year to come to Chicago, because the days are still long, but the temperatures are not crazy hot, and you could be out for a long period of time. You can get to the sunrise, you can get the sunset, you can be on the river walk, you can even eat out. You can be eating outside. That's September, October is the best time to be here. All right. Rich Wilson says, I'm late. Did we cover you'll be running Black Canyon with Des? We've talked about it before. It intimidated me, certainly. But I just saw that she's running the 50K and not the 100K at Black Canyon. So I don't know that I'll even see her, because the 50K starts the following day. And I'm hoping to be done by the time that the 50K starts. And I'll be back in Phoenix by then. So I don't know that I'll even cross paths, which will be fine. Matt Beyer got some good news yesterday. Only looking at another 3 weeks in the boot for a fractured fibula. Then I'll be working myself back up to normal running mileage. All right. Well, that's good to hear, man. All right. Faziel Lalo says, I like the Terex top sweater. I love this Terex top. It's one of my favorite. I got it from Adidas when I was with them in San Antonio. Super comfy. And it also has it's not a kangaroo pouch. It's kind of like a kangaroo pouch, but there's a little seam in the middle. So there's two separate pockets up front. But it's a nice, big, cozy sweater. It's got a nice amount of weight to it. And I just love this kind of like textured material that they've used. So I'm a big fan of it. All right. Vanessa says, speaking of dogs, my local weatherman equated 7,000 pounds of ice to a 30-foot wide tree to 110 golden retrievers. I think that's really funny. That's a really fun like weight metric to you. Yeah, Johnny says, Des is doing Black Canyon Marathon to sell Boston and London in close succession. So here's the thing. Des has a YouTube channel, but she has very much, here's where I, like Marathon de Sable, awesome. And it pretty much, for a while, I was thinking, I don't know, if Black Canyon goes well, maybe I will do Marathon de Sable. Because I just finished reading that book by Charlie Engle, where he ran across the Sahara, the entire thing. And I was listening to that while freezing my belly. Like the skin of my belly was felt like it was in pain, burning, because it was so cold. So I'm listening to that, and I'm like, I don't know, maybe a Marathon de Sable is something that I could do. But I feel like by the time I'm ready to do something like that, everyone will have done it. And it'll be like, oh, you're doing Marathon de Sable too? Okay. So I'm not sure. I don't have to find a different adventure to do. But I feel like if you're going to pick adventures by what Charlie Engle hasn't done, there's not a lot of things that I can do. Anyway. But here's my bigger dilemma. Is on the fastest known YouTuber list. Des has very specifically said she's retired from marathoning. But now she's going to run another marathon. Do I put her on the fastest known YouTuber list with her previous PR from when she was not a... Because Suguru Osako also retired, but now he's competing again. So I still have him up there with his first retirement PRs. So I don't know how to deal with that. Father Steve said she may do trials. Would she qualify for the fastest YouTube marathon list then? I mean, then yeah, for sure. I don't know. I think that's super annoying. I get it. Like, Steph Bruce did the same thing where she was on her final year tour, and then she's like, I'd like to do another year. And I get it. Like, these are competitive people. They've been running their whole lives. They thought they were ready to hang them up, and then they weren't. But I feel like, I don't know, she took out a full page ad in the paper set to shock drop the morning of the Boston Marathon, and then gave a farewell speech at the finish line. People cried. You know what I mean? I don't think you're allowed to come back once you make people cry. Suguru Osako didn't make people cry. I mean, maybe he did, and they don't cover it here in the United States. But I don't know how to handle. I'm not saying Des shouldn't run. If she wants to run, great, that's awesome. If she wants to compete, awesome, I'll watch. But I'm also just like, I don't know. Tom Tiger says, if Des runs again, she needs to be on the list. Yeah, I mean, it's a novelty list. It's a YouTuber's list, but yeah. Jake, he says, retiring is clearly a spectrum. I guess so. I guess. Cosmo Michael said, does retire from the elite marathon field? I don't know. I saw the same thing. I think I saw the same thing Johnny Dodgen saw of all the lists of all the races that Des has on her list coming up. But I was like, she doing the Boston, London, double. Next year she's going to do Boston. What's the one that people Big Sur? I feel like she's doing all like the influencer challenges. Yeah. Calvin says hot take. I think the YouTuber list should require them filming while racing. Yeah, I think that would be funny, and it would certainly make some people happy. Some people got grumpy that I put like Clayton Young on there, or Alex Yee, because it's like clearly there's a film crew following him around, and presumably also it's not. I don't think Alex Yee is like editing his own videos, like Andy Buchanan. I don't think he's editing his own videos. You know what I mean? So some people were like, those aren't real YouTubers. And I was like, I don't know. There's youtube.com/Clayton Young. I feel like that counts as him being a YouTuber, you know? So maybe that's what we need to do. I saw something yesterday on Instagram that was like Speed Goat Metzler was at the starting line of a race, and some dude next to him had like a selfie stick out, and Metzler was just like shaking his head at the dude. Who knows what he was shaking his head at, but the way that this Instagram reel was phrased, it made it sound like Speed Goat was mad that there was a dude at a trail race using a camera on a selfie stick. And people in the comments were like, I don't know, these people that are filming their races, they brought so much great attention to the sport. And my response to that was, oh, I think the people that hate selfie sticks at trail races are very keenly aware about the attention that it brings to the sport. And I didn't leave the other part off, and I'm like, they don't want attention. There's people that don't want the sport to grow, which is something I've been telling people for a long time. And people are like, I don't know, trail running is so inclusive. I'm like, not for everybody. Yeah. All right, Calvin says there could be weight classes of a sort for YouTube rankings, maybe. Pro adjacent YouTuber who happens to running focused YouTuber. I think that makes the list way too hard for me to manage. I don't know if you guys realize how much of a shoestring or a thread I'm hanging on by here, but I do not have time. I don't have time to be maintaining this YouTuber list, but I also feel like if not me, then who? I feel like it needs to be me, but yeah, I don't have time to be, because then I gotta because I watch most of those people, but like I don't watch everyone's video every time. Yeah, Adam says Speed Goes Carl Meltzer, not to be confused with running writer Brian Metzler. I can never say either of their names right. I've never met Speed Goat before. I know Brian, I wouldn't say well, but I've run with him many times. And I can never remember how to pronounce either one. If it's the TZL or LTZ. So confusing. Johnny says 24 minutes in and no one's mentioned the $1,000 Adidas shoe. So that shoe, the Pharrell collab shoe, I saw that on Runner Alerts, and kudos to Runner Alerts. They have managed to make a very compelling Instagram account using what I think is solely PR photos. But anyway, there is something like, there are 5D overlays or something like that. What is it called? What was the phrase? Do you guys remember? And I was just like, what does 5D mean? And I don't even know what that means. And it's supposed to be like the Evo 2, but a wider midsole, like a wider platform. So it's like a Magmax / Evo 2. I don't know. Some people are trying to defend it as like it's a fashion collab. It's gonna be expensive. You guys don't understand like how expensive things are. I'm like, I'm not balking at the price. I'm balking at what the heck is this? What is the marketing? The marketing language is made up, arbitrary. I don't know. Getting to Run says about the distinctions between real YouTubers, quote unquote, and not real YouTubers. It says, quote unquote, he's not a real YouTuber energy from the if you run, you're a runner crowd is not a good look. Take it from me, a slow YouTuber with no subscribers. Yeah, I mean, I just think that it's easier to be like, look, this person has a YouTube account with their name on it, and they're posting videos to that account with them in it. That's a YouTuber enough for me. Yeah, okay, yeah. JK says it was a unique, quote unquote, unique 5D raised dot pattern. And I was like, what does that mean? Does it travel through time? What is 5D? Smell, right? 3 dimensions of space, x-axis, y-axis, z-axis. 4th dimension is time, space-time, right? 5th dimension is what? Odor? I don't understand. Yeah. Faziel Alo says it's the same thing as the iPhone socks. Did anyone ever buy those iPhone socks? I don't think I ever saw anyone with those iPhone socks, but I was having a conversation with my manager yesterday, and they were like, "Hey, would you be interested in working with this brand?" I'm like, "Yeah, I can. Yeah. I've been using the product for a long time. It'd be fine." And they're like, and they're also, but I'm like, "Oh, I don't use it during races though. Is that going to be a problem?" And they're like, they're actually not too worried about races. They want more like using it during your everyday life, like commuting at work, on the way home from work and all that stuff. I'm like, I live in my basement pretty much. My everyday life is pretty boring. So as a way of saying, like, I'm not in a place where I would see iPhone socks. You have to let me know if iPhone socks has become a thing anywhere. It says that for the 5D raised dot pattern, the tesseracts are in the chat. Rank says it's when the moon is in the 7th house. JK says, I can't even tell if it's AI generated or genuinely that dumb. Retailing at $1,000, the footwear is driven by concept. It doesn't mean nothing. It's a lot of words. It's a very fancy way of saying, I mean, I don't think that's AI. I feel like that's a very expensive marketer. Jay says it's inviting wearers not to just wear the future, but to truly feel it. Okay. Yeah, maybe. All right. Let's get to the game for today. Are you guys ready to play? Speaking of marketing slop, let's play the game. Here's how the game works. So I have copied and pasted the copy, like the description that when you would look at a website. Let's see what happens if I do this. No, it doesn't like that. I have to do this. Okay. So I copied what it would say on a website about a shoe. I'll read it to you. You could see here, I put in brackets like shoe, where then they're talking about like the name of the shoes. So hopefully I've taken out all the actual names of stuff, but you have to guess what it is. All right. Cosmic Pineapple Omega says, name that $1,000 shoe. All right. So here's the first one. All right. This is a plated daily trainer that brings the heat to speed work. Our shoe is a perfect addition to your running arsenal, built for up-tempo training miles with an extra resilient Piba-topped midsole and a snappy P-backs plate. So that should be a nice hint. We've refined the collar and implemented a breathable woven upper to keep things light, cool, and fast for those next-level efforts. Yeah, Mr. Pollender says P-backs plate is a giveaway. There are a handful of shoes with P-backs plate. But yeah. Martha says, does plated mean carbon or anything? Plated means anything. So technically, like, all those Mizuno shoes could be considered plated. You know what I mean? Mark says, this is the Dynafish Xiaonian. I've not reviewed any Dynafish shoes. Is Dynafish the name of the brand? Is that really what it is? I don't know. Frank wants to know, is this the Boston? Daniel Estrella thinks, is it the Endorphin Speed 5? J-Key is, I'm going to say he's got it. J-Key's got it with the Mach X. That is the correct one. Here's the, on top, I put the actual screenshot from the website. I cut out the first couple sentences because it was way too obvious, but it's a propulsive speed training partner. Who doesn't want to go Mach speed? Our thoughts exactly. A plated daily trainer that brings heat to speed work. Our Mach 3 is a perfect addition to your running arsenal. I don't think that I tricked too many people with that one. Jay says, "Hey, I have the Mach X2." See, you knew. Jakey says it could be a porcelain plate they took from their grandma's house. Yeah, Johnny says you got to substitute refine the collar to fixed the collar. I mean, see, that's why the marketers make the big bucks, Johnny. See, because refine the collar sounds so much better. All right. Let's go to the next one, number 2. If there's one thing that unites racing across every level of competition, it's running with purpose. The shoe is premium performance that is truly built for race day. The ultra lightweight design is equipped with a carbon fiber plate and an ultra responsive PIBA midsole for every step taken toward your best time. If you guys can figure out what that is, I'd be impressed. Stevie76 is the Etonic Evolution. And Matthias Fences says, speaking of, when will they put a better foam in the regular Mach? I don't know. I think a new Mach is coming this year. I saw some images come out of TRE. I didn't get a chance to meet with Hoka, so I don't know what's actually happening. Jakey says, this is so basic. I know. This could be any PIBA midsole shoe, which is not every shoe these days. Agent 45 thinks it's Tracksmith. That wouldn't be Tracksmith, because Tracksmith has the drop-in insole, where the drop-in insole is ATPU, then there's a carbon fiber plate, and then the regular carrier is PIBA. I don't know if it's Super PIBA or PIBA. I'm not sure. Kevin thinks it's the Metaspeed. Frank, a couple of people have voted for Vaporfly. Alan Sutherland was the first one coming with VF4. Matt Beyer also think it's VF4. But Mr. Pollender had it correct. It is the SC Elite version 5. And you know what has been amazing to me is that since Alexi ran so well in Valencia in the SC Elite version 5, I do think that the SC Elite version 5 has gotten a significant bump in terms of like credibility, which makes sense. He ran a 206 in it. But I don't, and that is probably the fastest known time in an SC Elite, any of the SC Elite versions. But to see, there's something about it. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Now, I know that like Shohei Ohtani is a New Balance athlete, right? So like seeing like an Asian man on a New Balance ad isn't that weird, although it is kind of weird to me. But the first ones I saw were in Japan, so maybe that's why it like didn't seem so out of place. But for me, seeing an Asian man on a New Balance running, like on the running website, seems noticeable to me. I don't know. Let's see. Andrew in Indianapolis says it couldn't be the Tracksmith because there's no mention of pine needles. Yeah. All right. Yeah, Agent 45 said I keyed in the word premium. That's why I was thinking Tracksmith. Oh, that's a good guess. All right. OMG Vic says, I don't think Nike ever name drops PIBA foam in their product descriptions. I think you're right. I think they always say ZoomX, which has been frustrating to me because I've always associated ZoomX with PIBA. And now ZoomX isn't always PIBA. So that's... Yeah. Oh, also, Matt Beyer says, it's not Vaporfly because they would say P-Bax, not PIBA. P-Bax is like the trade name. PIBA is the chemical name. All right. Patrick says, I did a speed session in my SC Elite version 5 today. I love the shoe. It is a lot better. And I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm feeling old and slow these days. Or like I feel like I've lost a step and I'm like, I don't know, SC Elite version 5 seems like the right shoe for me. Even though normally I would say, I need it to be more aggressive. I don't know, maybe I don't need as aggressive of shoes. All right. Mr. Pollender says, I ran in the SC Elite 4 this morning, and 4 is just a super trainer, LOL. I agree. I feel like the SC Elite 4 is like a Rebel Pro, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I feel like, can you imagine this lineup? Rebel, SC Elite version 5, right? So those are 2 shoes that currently exist. Those are 2 solid shoes. But the SC Elite version 4, but renamed as a Fuel Cell TC, like Fuel Cell TC version 2. Now that'd be really confusing because of the way that the SC has dominated everything over there. But I just feel like they need to bring back the Fuel Cell TC or do something different with the SC Trainer. But I think the SC Trainer has been one other thing for so long. To change it would make a lot of people mad. I think SC Trainer stays kind of what it is. And then I think they need a Fuel Cell TC type shoe. All right, let's get to the third one. All right, this shoe says, hit every mile marker in long distance confidence and premium cushion comfort with this shoe. This well-cushioned running style has been granted the APMA seal of acceptance and is designed for the daily runner, featuring a lace-up, breathable engineered mesh upper with our removable trademark insole system, amplified trademarked midsole cushioning with trademark arch support technology, a carbon-infused plate for next-level energy return, plus a durable trademark performance outsole. So I said the word trademarked a lot because they have a lot of trademark terms. Every term is a technology, and every technology is a registered trademark term. So, yeah, this one is full of like buzzwords. So, yeah. Calvin says, is the SC Pacer just dead now? I don't know. I should ask New Balance about that. The SC Pacer 2 was such a disappointment. Jakey says APMA. I don't know what APMA is. I mean, I knew it. I looked at it when I read this, but I don't know what it is now. Calvin says this is the Tracksmith Elliot. I feel like this is too like Carnival Barker style of marketing to be Tracksmith. Alan says, is it the Bondi? It could be a Bondi the way it's being described. Duke BB says New Balance More version 5. Frank Lahulier says, that sounds like Skechers, actually. And you are right. This is the Aero Burst, which I learned yesterday. There is an Aero Burst and then a Slip-ins Aero Burst, and they're not the same thing. We talked about that on Monday a little bit. But there's 2 different versions of the shoe. Can you imagine a Slip-ins? I just thought that they were like putting it in the Slip-ins category just for categorization purposes, but there's actually a separate item. But the trademark terms are, let's see, removable insole system is the removable arch fit system. The amplified midsole cushioning is amplified hyperburst ice midsole cushioning with hyper arc technology and a carbon infused H plate. So the H plate is no longer carbon. Yeah. Jakey says, Hyperburst Ice will always sound like a vape flavor. Yeah. Alan Sutherland says, how on earth is anything with a carbon plate APMA? I don't know what is it. Do we know what APMA is? What is APMA? Something that I learned a few years ago is that a lot of times when shoes have like approved by like the Podiatric Society or something like that, those kinds of labels on it, those are awards that are not freely given. I think the brand is getting the organization to lend their seal of approval to it. So I don't think that there's someone in the Podiatric Society that's going out and testing all the different brands of shoes before they give a stamp of approval. I think they're probably getting approached. And then, yeah, we like this. And then money exchanges hands. Just so you guys know. Oh, yeah, okay. Doppler JD says, it's American Podiatric Medical Association. Okay, there we go. Nice. Calvin says 4 out of 5 injured runners approve of this shoe. Nice. Drew Nanella says it's like a FIFA Peace Award. Guys, I said that we should have just Truman showed this guy like a long time ago. Like it would be really expensive, but can we make like a biosphere, like Biodome that they put like Pauly Shore in, and Truman show it with actors around the clock and just make him think that he's in charge of stuff. Like that would have been so much better and cheaper for everybody. Frank says the APMA randomly happens to consist entirely of Skechers board members. No way. Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny. Calvin says we would get the biggest golden toilet we can find. With so much water pressure. So much water pressure. All right. Next one. I think I've got 2 more. All right. This shoe is built to go fast and feel smooth, whether you're pushing the pace on a track night with friends or chasing a PR. A newly designed nylon plate and responsive trademark cushioning come together for snappy transitions and a fast ride. This is speed you can count on. All right. Let's see. I think you guys figured this one out right away. Yeah, Jakey instantly said, "Oh, endorphin for sure." Engineer says, "Oh, I see how you did there." Engineer says Deviate Nitro. I think the Deviate Nitro. Oh, you're right. That Deviate Nitro is a composite plate. Calvin says Indo Speed, but I think a lot of brands don't say nylon plate, even though they might have a nylon plate. They will just say like a composite plate or something. Mizuno's plate is always glass fiber reinforced plastic plate or something plate, and words that basically say fiberglass but are not fiberglass. People keep trying to explain to me how it's different, but it sounds exactly like fiberglass. But yeah, this is made for speed day / race day. The Endorphin Speed 5 is built to go fast and feel smooth. All right, nice. All right. Okay, we got the last one. Patrick said the Streak Fly 2. Streak Fly 2 is carbon, isn't it? I feel like it's carbon in Zoom X. Just a tiny bit of it, too. That's such an aggressive shoe. All right. Let's do this last one that we got for today. It says, stack miles on speedy miles in the men's shoe. Designed to offer protection and speed thanks to high stack cushioning and a nylon trademark propulsion plate, this shoe helps you train fast and recover well to maximize your training. Guys, to be honest, I don't remember what this is anymore. Some of the other ones I might not have remembered until I got like a sentence or two in. This one, I'm stumped. I do not know what this is. Matthias Ventus says Mega Blast. Mega Blast does not have a nylon plate. Frank Lulier says Primex. I feel like in Primex they would talk about their trademark foams. Mr. Pollender says Sonic Blast. I feel like Sonic Blast has a carbon plate, no? Oh yeah, Cosmo Michael has this right. It is the Hyperion Max 3. Good. Oh man, you're so good. Cosmo Michael is good at all of these games every single time. But yeah, good call. And Martha says no women's version. I think I was looking at the men's product listing, and so I don't know. I have so many things at Brooks feels like there's a micromanager that has to approve of stuff before it goes through, and that might have been like let me see that copy you made. I gotta change it, but otherwise it was pretty good. And they wrote in the word men's for the men's version and women's for the women's version, maybe. But yeah, this is the Hyperion Max 3, designed to offer protection and speed. I just wish it wasn't so heavy. So heavy. Calvin says, bad showing for me today. I'll need to brush up on my AI generated marketing copy for next time. Do you think that these are AI generated? I have a feeling, because if I'm not singling out Brooks here. I'm thinking about like all the people that are writing the ad copy for all these websites, for all these shoes. I have a feeling that they're being encouraged by their managers to use AI whether they want to or not. So I'm guessing that these all probably started with, like, here's the spec sheet for this shoe, write a 4-sentence summary of what this shoe is and who is it for. You know? Yeah. Calvin says, I think the next year's round will be AI generated as marketing budgets shrink and management pushes for AI. Yeah, I don't know. So, like, the kinds of AI that I would like would be, I could say, hey, can you look at these 2 websites? One would be the results from the Houston Marathon, and 2 would be my spreadsheet for fastest known YouTubers. Can you tell me if any of these YouTubers ran the Houston Marathon and if it was a PB? And it could just tell me. And, you know, because otherwise I kind of have to go through, look for names that might be familiar, check to see what the times were, and see if it was a PB. And that takes a long time. I still did find like 3 new names or updates from Houston, but still it takes a long time. That's the kind of thing that I would like to use AI for. But if AI gave me that result, I would still have to double check it. You know what I mean? I just wouldn't trust it. So it's like a use case, but also it's a product maturity problem. But I feel like the way that everyone's trying to push people to use AI, and like, if it was that good, you wouldn't have to convince me to use it. You know what I mean? I don't know. Frank says, it's really hard to get LLMs to pull in specific data like that. I know, because especially because like some of their names would be different from their YouTube usernames. So like, how would it pull it in? And sometimes when I search a name, I'm like, I think this athlete has a YouTube channel. I might put that name into YouTube and I'll get 6 accounts with that name, but they'll all be like just random people with like a profile pic and no videos, you know? So, yeah. Yeah, Fred Nubbets. And then this is the product problem. Your prompt needs to be crafted very carefully or it could make things up without you knowing. That's the thing. I've been telling my daughter about that. Like, sometimes we'll be like, hey, can you look something up for me? Like, if we're in the car, I'm like, hey, can you look something up for me? And she'll start reading it to me. And I'm like, are you reading the AI summary? She's like, yes. I'm like, can you give me something from the first result? Don't read me the AI summary. I can't trust it. You know? I don't know. Andrew Indianapolis says, I'll be happy if AI can make formatting changes to Excel, but until that happens, I don't need it to write a better email for me. Yeah, I don't know. Part of me is like, am I just being old? Like, I unboxed the other day that gimbal for my big camera, and I've been using it in the past couple of videos to help shoot my product B-roll footage, and I don't know that it's any better. I don't know. It's certainly not making me faster, and I'm not sure that the caliber of the footage I'm capturing is better in the studio. But I'm like, I think ultimately it'll be good if I become very good at using this, because then if I need to film shoes outside of my studio, let's say I'm at the running event, let's say I'm at a launch event, you know, in public somewhere, that'll be good to be able to get that. Just be really familiar with how a gimbal works, and have like that muscle memory. But like right now, it's a pain in the butt, and it's making everything take longer, and I'm not getting a better result. And I feel like that's where we are with AI. And I don't just think it's like, well, we need to learn it more. We got to get the muscle memory. I don't know. Vanessa says, I avoid AI as much as possible. Texas has too many data centers that are stealing our land, water, and energy. I see the real life impact. Yeah, so we were watching something about Elon Musk getting involved in like Tennessee politics and stuff. She's like, why does he care about Tennessee? And I'm like, I think like Tennessee and Kentucky, there's a lot of water, and that's where a lot of his data centers are going in. So that's why I think he cares. So I don't know. Yeah, but it's frustrating either way. I'm gonna get going for today, guys. I still haven't got my run in today. Today I'm gonna try to run in those Mizuno shoes finally. Um, I'm nervous because it's very cold, and then I'm gonna have to switch shoes, which means that some of the shoes are gonna sit in the car for a little while. But anyway, I'm gonna try to do those. Tomorrow, from what I understand, is an ice out day, so people in Minnesota are not going to work or go shopping or buy stuff. That's my understanding. So I have two videos that I want to come out tomorrow, but they're going to come out on Saturday instead. So um, yeah, everybody in Minnesota, Minneapolis, be safe out there. Everyone else, stay warm. And yeah, I'll see you guys on Monday. Good luck on your races if you guys are racing this weekend or surviving the cold on your long runs. All right, guys, be safe. Bye.